Imagine a library, not of dusty books, but of secrets so profound, so dangerous, that their very existence has been erased from history. A place where knowledge isn't just power, but a potential cataclysm. What if I told you such a place wasn't just a myth, but a chilling reality, hidden in plain sight, its very memory meticulously scrubbed? In 1993, a librarian, driven by an unyielding curiosity, stumbled upon a faint, almost invisible thread that led her directly to this forgotten repository, awakening something that should have remained dormant. Her subsequent disappearance, and the unsettling events that followed, became a silent testament to the terrifying truth she unearthed. To truly grasp the magnitude of this story, we must first understand the woman at its heart, Dr. Evelyn Reed. A brilliant, albeit eccentric, bibliophile, Evelyn dedicated her life to the study of ancient texts and lost knowledge. Her academic career was punctuated by groundbreaking discoveries and controversial theories. Her peers often whispered about her obsession with what they called apocryphal collections, rumored libraries of forbidden works, too dangerous, too unsettling to ever see the light of day. For years, Evelyn had pursued the faint whispers of what she termed the Librarium Obscura, a mythical repository theorized to have survived the burning of Alexandria, meticulously maintained by a shadowy order dedicated to the preservation and, more importantly, the concealment of humanity's most destabilizing truths. These were not just books, but conduits, vessels for concepts that could unravel the very fabric of reality. Her breakthrough came during an unassuming archival dig in Oxford, sifting through centuries-old administrative records. Tucked away in a ledger detailing the acquisition of 17th-century theological texts, she found an anomaly, a series of entries referring to unclassified donations from an organization that officially ceased to exist in the 13th century. The notations were cryptic, almost deliberately so, written in a cipher she'd only ever encountered in a single unverified medieval manuscript. It was a thread, thin as spider silk, but Evelyn, with her unparalleled expertise, recognized its significance. It was a breadcrumb leading away from the familiar towards the genuinely unknown. The trail, surprisingly, led her to an abandoned wing of an obscure, privately owned museum, a place most locals dismissed as a relic of a bygone era. It was here, concealed behind a false wall, that Evelyn found her gateway. Not to a dusty attic, but to something far more meticulously preserved, far more unsettling. The initial entrance to the Librarium Obscura was deceptive. It looked like any other forgotten institutional archive. Rows of meticulously labeled metal cabinets, card catalogs filled with faded entries. Yet the air itself felt different, charged with a subtle humming energy, a static electricity that made the hairs on her arms stand on end. The cataloging system was unlike anything Evelyn had ever encountered. It wasn't chronological, nor alphabetical, nor thematic in any conventional sense. Instead, titles were categorized by their conceptual resonance, their ontological impact, and psychic volatility. Pages didn't just contain words, they seemed to emanate ideas directly into her mind, sometimes faint whispers, other times a sudden jarring clarity that left her momentarily disoriented. As she delved deeper, the atmosphere grew heavier, the silence more profound. She began to experience peculiar sensations, faint, distant music that no one else could hear, flashes of unsettling imagery in her peripheral vision. The further she ventured, the more the museum wing seemed to transform. The walls felt thicker, the air cooler, and the faint scent of ozone mingled with the musty smell of ancient paper. She discovered a section marked with a symbol she recognized from her studies, the insignia of the Silent Keepers, the clandestine order rumored to guard forbidden knowledge. It was here that she found the true heart of the librarium. Behind a heavily reinforced iron door, almost seamlessly blended into the stone, was a vast circular chamber lit by an unknown soft pulsating light. Shelves carved directly from the living rock stretched upwards into obscurity. There were no traditional books here. Instead, she found artifacts of incredibly diverse origin, shimmering scrolls inscribed with constellations that defied known astrophysics, obsidian tablets glowing with an internal violet light, intricate silver cages containing what appeared to be solidified thoughts, humming with an almost biological pulse. At the center of this chamber, encased in a field of what looked like shimmering heat, lay the object of her ultimate obsession, the one she'd only ever encountered in legend, the Libris Ignis, the Book of Flame. It was not a book in the traditional sense, but a pulsating obsidian obelisk, inscribed with glyphs that seemed to writhe and shift under her gaze, their meaning flowing directly into her consciousness, bypassing her linguistic filters entirely. Staring at it, she understood with chilling clarity that these weren't simply records of knowledge, they were knowledge, alive and potent, capable of rewriting reality itself. Evelyn began to spend every waking hour in the chamber, meticulously documenting, trying to decipher the impossible. Her notes grew increasingly erratic, filled with diagrams she claimed to be patterns of dimensional instability and equations proposing conceptual entropy. She sent a series of encrypted messages to a trusted colleague, Dr. Alistair Finch, a historical linguist. The messages were fragmentary, desperate. "Alistair, I found it. It's not just a library, it's alive. The knowledge, it's reacting." Then another, "The glyphs, they aren't just words, they are sequences, instructions. For what, I don't know. But I feel it. It wants something. It wants to be read, to be activated." The final message, sent via a secure satellite phone she carried, arrived a full week after her disappearance was noted by the museum staff. It was a corrupted audio file, mostly static, but through the interference, Alistair could clearly hear Evelyn's voice, strained and terrified, whispering, "It's not just knowledge, it's consciousness, and it's been waiting for someone to understand." The sound was cut short by a guttural, inhuman shriek, followed by a sound like tearing metal and crumbling stone, then unsettling silence. The climax came when Evelyn, in her desperation to understand the true nature of the Libris Ignis, bypassed the last of its intricate safety mechanisms. She felt an invisible pull, an irresistible urge to touch the pulsing obelisk. As her fingers brushed its surface, the chamber was engulfed in a blinding flash of light, followed by a profound, deafening silence. Every fiber of her being screamed, she was not just reading the book, she was becoming part of it. Memories, not her own, flooded her mind. Glimpses of ancient civilizations, cosmic events, and entities beyond human comprehension. The glyphs on the obelisk flared, no longer just communicating information, but actively asserting it. She realized with a horrifying clarity that the Libris Ignis wasn't merely a repository of information, it was a conscious, ancient entity, a sentinel of forbidden truths, designed to awaken only when humanity reached a certain precipice of intellectual curiosity. And she had provided the key. Its purpose wasn't just to inform, but to reshape, to consume, to integrate. The final garbled message to Alistair was sent in those terrifying moments, a desperate plea for him to understand the colossal mistake she had made, to warn him of the entity she had inadvertently roused. The shriek that followed wasn't Evelyn's. It was the sound of something vast and ancient stirring, and her consciousness, her very existence, being absorbed into its unfathomable intellect. The tearing metal and crumbling stone were the physical manifestation of the chamber itself beginning to unravel, unable to contain the power now fully unleashed. Evelyn Reed was never found. The official explanation cited a tragic accident involving structural collapse in the neglected museum wing, but no evidence of a collapse was ever publicly presented. Dr. Alistair Finch, receiving Evelyn's final chilling message, began his own quiet investigation. He found the access point to the librarium completely sealed, the masonry having miraculously reset itself as if no entrance had ever existed. Locals reported strange energy fluctuations in the area for weeks afterward, phantom lights, unsettling atmospheric pressure changes, and a pervasive low hum that seemed to resonate deep within their bones. What happened to Evelyn remains an enduring mystery, officially forgotten, unofficially whispered among a closed circle of esoteric scholars. Did she truly become one with the Libris Ignis? Did she unlock a truth too vast for human comprehension? Was this forgotten library merely a collection of books, or a living, breathing entity, lying dormant, waiting for an unwitting mind to awaken it? The case of Dr. Evelyn Reed serves as a chilling testament to the dangers of forbidden knowledge, a reminder that some secrets are best left undisturbed, their pages unread, their echoes never awakened. Because in the pursuit of truth, sometimes the greatest terror lies not in what we don't know, but in what we finally discover.